So my boy Gary B wrote a comic book called The Need, and Bubba, it is spicier than Carolina Reaper juice with a tequila chaser. But I'm going to try to break it down for you because I love my friend. I love his comic book. Let me share it with you. So this is my friend Gary B, the casual comic guy.
Good afternoon, Cubes at the Cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here.
And he wrote a comic book that wasn't so casual. Need. This is a great comic book. Set aside the adult content in it, this is a great story, and I want to tell you why. Quick synopsis of the story without spoiling anything and not saying things to make me blush so much and give me one-liners all day long, so I just spend this thing laughing at myself. I want to tell you a little bit about this story. We have Alexis, and she works inside of a toy factory. The fact that she starts this story off working in a toy factory, I think, is very important to the story. I think it's a great origin story. One, if we take other bits of fiction that we've read over the years or watched on television, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the weird story with Robin Williams running a toy factory, right? These characters have always kind of had this sense of immaturity to them until they get bored with childish things and have to grow up in some way, shape, or form. And then usually there's a love interest or a passing of the torch kind of thing. This story kind of takes a different turn. You should know that. In this story, we take our character Alexis working inside the toy factory, and tragedy happens, and she ends up bonding with an alien being. Now, if we know anything about comic books, and that's what's great about this story, by the way, quick segue, real quick. Gary B has taken some of the best concepts and tropes inside of comic books and added them in here in a way that you can add the adult content to it, but still get the references in it. And I thought that was very smart the way he did that. Anybody that reads this is going to immediately recognize something in it. And that's smart. You want to have a connection with your readers. He did that brilliantly. Honest to God. No bias there. That was just smart. So going back to the bonding with the alien, right? There's always a trade-off, right? One aspect, you get cool superpowers, right? Our character gets strength, speed, the whole 9 yards, right? Just super powerful, right? And then, of course, the trade-off is a strong sexual desire, right? That the alien feeds off of this kind of thing. And also learns to control it, to enjoy it longer inside the story. This is where some of the more spicier content actually happens in the comic book, by the way, where it literally depicts this kind of action going on. I'm trying to keep this PG-13. I apologize. But what ultimately ends up happening, this trade-off. Now, this trade-off, nobody ever said that the trade-off had to be good or bad. They're just two different extremes, right? You got to feed the beast, in other words. So as we go forward, of course, the incident happened at the toy factory. Government gets involved. There's aliens involved. So, of course, this character needs to be chased down, obviously, right? That kind of anti-hero trope that we know, right? That there's something, this should not be happening, yada, yada, yada. One can often make the argument that women shouldn't be that promiscuous, right? So, yeah, you kind of see that underlining part in here, too. Basically, a woman who's done with childish things, realizes there's other things to enjoy, and wants to freely express those things. I think that's a great story. And put the spicy content aside, all in all, everybody should be reading this comic book. We should support our friends, and we should, occasionally spend money on our friends. So definitely check this book out. Links are in the description down below. Give it a read. Get yourself a hard copy because you don't want to be the person that's sitting there at a Comic-Con while our friend's signing books being like, I knew him. Oh, really? Did you get a copy of his book? No. I didn't. That's a sad day. And you failed your friend. You're a horrible person. all kidding aside, guys, I've been waiting for a while to do this review. I can't express it enough, and I really don't want to give anything away in this book. But as you read it, yeah, you're going to have your spicy content in it, but there's a story there as well. It's not just there for shock value. So I hope you pick it up. I hope you read it. Definitely, if you read it, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments down below. And definitely go check out Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy's channel. All the links that you need to get to know Gary B are down below. All right, guys, I got nothing else. I got to get out of here. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.